Hello everyone, I'm Umesh Reddy Kachirki from IISER Pune. Uh, I'm presenting a paper on scholarly open access publishing, analysis of IISER Pune publications, authored by me and my colleagues, Shiva Mahato, Tanuja Sapre and Namrata Shinde. This paper discusses the scholarly open access publishing trends at IISER Pune and analyzes the open access models in which scientific community of IISER Pune have their publications. The various aspects that were covered and analyzed in the paper are annual growth of scholarly publications, share of open access publications, preferred source titles, communication channels, publication models, and collaborating institutions for open access papers. Uh, Access to information is undergoing a fast transition. What was earlier procured by difficult efforts is now available for open access. Not only synthesis, but also the dissemination and sharing of knowledge are gaining importance. Uh, open access has become favored means to disseminate research findings with the support from grant agencies, scholarly associations, institutions, or author fees. Open access publishing utilizes the reduced cost of publishing in electronic formats alone to make journals and other online research resources free to read. This has enabled easy, fast, and open sharing of scientific work. Therefore, open access has become a favored means to disseminate research findings. When we look at the cost issues and financial implications of open access publishing, it is not divide of costs. The publication of the articles in a journal is just one part of the cost of research communication. First of all, there are costs involved in research, conducting research, then writing, then the cost of peer review, editing, publications, then acquiring information by the libraries, in the form of subscriptions, then providing access, managing access, storage, then the long-term preservation. So therefore, in every stage of conducting research, then making the results in the form of publications and acquiring information in the library, the costs are involved. So what's the value and viability of open access journals? The price of academic journals has increased, by large amounts, and libraries and individuals are struggling to cope up with the money to pay for information that is really essential for conducting research. The electronic forms of open access are a means to cut huge costs from the publishing system, and by embedding, the new open access system primarily in the non-profit sector, open access can return exorbitant profits back to the research community. Funding organizations are also supporting open access movement. Throughout the world, international academic communities are steadily developing improved mechanisms for the exchange of research publications and data. At the same time, governments, institutes, and universities, as well as funding bodies, are asking their fundees and employees to ensure that the research arising, from their support is made accessible in open access format. Scholarly open access essentially means availability of scientific or scholarly research literature for free access on the web. With the version of internet in the early 1990s, it became easily possible to share and exchange research as never before. A sense of sharing rapidly developed between the research scholars, academicians, and scientists, particularly with the launch of subject-based preprint servers such as archives, helped a lot in initiating the open access movement. So the open access movement started formally through the Budapest Open Access Initiative in the year 2001. Major motivation for open access initiatives were subscription rates that were really high and difficult to afford, a large price difference between institutional subscription rates and that of individuals. So technological developments also helped, the open access movement. The technological developments like ICT, multimedia applications, e-publishing have eased information dissemination. Information can now be exchanged globally immediately and effectively. Business models are also evolving around open access publishing. Previously, the information which was difficult to obtain is now available easily due to the open access movement. It's not only the creation, but dissemination and sharing have opened up new avenues. Many publishing houses are coming up with their open access business models, as there is a win-win situation for the stakeholders. Read and publish or transformative agreements model is the latest example for this. Scientific and scholarly communication is growing, at an enormous speed and is undergoing a fast transition. Researchers and scholars generate a lot of intellectual information, which can be used for the betterment of society and for the further research. The best way to make this information available and accessible to a large number of academic community is through research papers or articles in a peer-reviewed open access journals. So open access publishing offers several advantages. Some of the important ones are free and easy access. Published information can be accessed without any substantial barrier in this mode. Most publishers and repositories do not impose any fee on its readers. Hence, price barriers are not are substantially lowered here. So increased citation and readership can be achieved. Many studies have shown that open access academic works are viewed much more than those that require subscription to access. Since open access research gets higher viewership, number of citations also increase. Compliance with the funder mandates can be achieved with open access publishing. Many funding agencies nowadays, they are making it mandatory for the researchers to publish the research supported by them in open access model. So that compliance can be maintained with this open access publishing. So immediacy and discoverability can be achieved with the help of advanced technology. Open access research results can be made immediately available and easily discoverable to the academic community worldwide. Availability of research data in different formats. In the open access model, research material need not be restricted to articles or books only. Unlike traditional publishing, any kind of digital content, including text, images, raw, processing data, audio, video, and software, can also be part of digital archive. Author and institution visibility can be increased. More readers can become aware of authors who publish in open access journals as opposed to subscription only journals. The institutions can enhance their profile by participating in hosting open access publishing. Funding agencies supporting the research can achieve more prominence by supporting open access movement. So greater public engagement can be achieved. Many groups that miss out on subscription content, including researchers at institutions with limited access, and the general public, find open access content not only available but valuable. Increased interdisciplinary conversation can also happen in open access movement. Open access journals that cross multiple disciplines are helping researchers connect more easily by providing greater visibility of their research. These are the open access models that our researchers have preferred to publish their papers. In green open access route, self-archive, preprint and post-print at the time of publication is possible. In gold open access, instant and full open access to a published article can be achieved. Here, sometimes it varies from the publisher to publisher. Sometimes they may ask authors to pay APC for making their papers open access. In hybrid open access route, an article processing charge is paid for an individual journal article to be made open access in an otherwise subscription journal. Bronze open access, the articles are free to read only on the publisher's page, but do not have any valid open license. In the Diamond open access publishing model, journals that publish open access and do not charge APC to the authors or the readers, they often rely on the external funding sources. About IISER Pune, Government of India through Ministry of Education has established seven Indian Institutes of Science Education and Research in India. These institutes are located in Bhopal, Behrampur, Mohali, Pune, Kolkata, Thiruvananthapuram, and Tirupati. IISERs represent an unique initiative in India where teaching and education are totally integrated with state of the art research. Each IISER is an autonomous institution awarding its own master's and doctoral degrees. IISER Pune offers integrated and the PhD programs, postdoctoral fellow programs, etc. In 2012, IISER Pune was declared as an institute of national importance, an act of parliament. IISER Pune has been ranked top among IISERs and 24th in the overall category of 2021 NRF ranking. So these are the objectives of the study to trace year-wise growth of open access scholarly publications, to trace the share of open access publications and their research impact, to identify types of publications and preferred source titles for open access publications, to identify and analyze preferred open access publication models, to examine the subject distribution of open access publications, and to identify top collaborating institutions and countries for open access research. Scope, limitations, and methodology. Research articles published by faculty and students of IISER Pune and indexed in Web of Science database over the period of last 15 years have been considered for the study. Individual authors' research productivity is not considered, and therefore prolific author is not listed here. Data required for the present study was collected from the Web of Science database. The data set has 1,843 open access publications. The retrieved bibliographic and the citation data was analyzed as per the objectives of the study. When we look at the annual publication output of IISER Pune, so we can notice that there has been a steady growth in the research publications, from the year 2006 to 2020. Growth of open access publications compared to closed access is significant, especially during 2015 to 2018. This is mainly because of utilization of free article tokens issued by RSC, Royal Society of Chemistry, as part of the negotiations done by IISER Library Consortium. So looking at the overall growth of open access publications, it may be inferred that the publication trend of publication trend of authors from IISER Pune is moving towards open access. When we look at the share of open access publications, there are about 3,478 papers during the last 15 years that have been published from IISER Pune community. Out of that, 1,843 are open access and 1,635 are closed access papers. It is significant to note that the average citation per article of open access publications is higher than the closed access articles. Apart from higher share of publications, percentage of citations is also higher for open access compared to the closed access papers. This data indicates that the open access research has a much more visibility and impact than the closed access research. So annual percentage share of closed access papers has gradually decreased, whereas the percentage share of open access papers has gradually increased. There is a significant growth in citations received by open access papers since 2018 compared to the closed access papers. The journal articles, when we look at the type of publications, the journal articles were the most preferred type for the scholarly communications, and rest of the types constituted merely 4.88%. As a result, number of citations and citing articles are higher for the journal articles compared to other types of publications. However, average citation per item is higher for review articles than any other publications. So these are the most preferred source titles by IISER Pune community. These are ranked as per the by the number of papers published by authors. Okay, the journals in the areas of physics dominate the list. All are foreign journals from the top 10 sources. So when we look at the open access publishing models, most of open access papers from IISER Pune are green open access, which allows authors to archive the paper in a repository, that is self-archiving, mostly through the institutional repositories. There is a high percentage of green open access and gold open access due to the overlap of papers having both the gold and green open access models. Uh, Main criteria for choosing the journal when authors want to publish their papers in open access model, the impact factor plays an important role. The researcher look for higher impact factor journals, and also they prefer the journals belong to their own subject domain. A popularity of the journal is another reason for them to choose the journal to publish their papers to achieve a better visibility and impact. Then mandate from the funders or the institutions. Many funding agencies, so institutions, they have a mandate for their researchers to publish papers in open access funded by them. So to meet that mandate, researcher need to publish their papers. So that is one of the main reasons for them to publish their papers in open access models. So these are the top subject categories according to the classification. Web of Science provide different subject categories to the articles based on its adapted classification method. Results indicate that the authors in the subject category physics, particles fields, and allied disciplines are most productive in terms of number of scholarly open access publications. These are the top collaborating institutions. Tata Institute of Fundamental Research topped the list of collaborating institutions with 38% of open access publications having joint authors from IISER Pune. Four of the top 10 collaborating institutions are located in USA. So, in conclusion, I would say that the publishing trend of authors from IISER Pune is moving towards open access. Some of the citations received by open access publications and average citations per paper of open access publications are higher than the closed access publications. So this indicates that open access publications have more visibility and impact than the closed access publications. Researchers still prefer to publish in a gold open access journals, as the APC charges are less as compared to the hybrid open access journals. Even though there is an increasing support by science policy at various levels and steady growth curve, open access has yet to become the default way of disseminating scholarly works. Majority of the peer-reviewed journals are still subscription based, despite the number of peer-reviewed journals allowing immediate open access to the papers is growing. Only a small share of articles published in subscription based journals are made open access individually through hybrid journals, and these articles are made open access against the payment, or if permitted, they are actually self archived in the open repositories through green open access model. Uh, Paywalls to the scientific results cause more harm to the scientific community rather than helping it to grow. New research can be built upon the existing one if more people can have access to the research work. It can work more efficiently only if all research results are made openly available to the scientific community. So with this, I conclude my paper, and I would like to take this opportunity to thank Professor Konnur and entire organizing team of LISACon 2021 for giving me this opportunity. Thank you very much.